And we're in. So today we are going to take it back to Spyro. And you might be saying, take it back to what? Well, in addition to playing Crash Bandicoot, an original platformer retro legend, we're going to be doing Spyro at the same time. Or at least until Crash is done, then we'll focus on Spyro. So we will be playing through Spyro, Spyro Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon. We will try to 100% them, but if that gets too boring or tedious, we'll just move on to the next game. And like Spyro, I think this one has 120%, this has like 110, this has 100, whatever. We're just going to jump right in, let a couple cutscenes play, and let's get to it, shall we? Alright, let's have some fun. In the world of dragons, we are introduced to a cutscene.
Okay, rolling.
It's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or is it 6? For a dragon's age, we now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
What about this Ganasty Ganok character? Now, I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Nasty Nork is a simple creature.
Simple?
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom.
No threat?
Besides, he is ugly.
Ugly? That does it!
Huh? Looks like I've got some things to do.
Yeah, so that was a lot to take in. So, completely unprovoked Nasty Nork turned all the dragons to statues and the gems to warriors for the most part. But here we are in Spyro the Dragon, a classic PlayStation 1. Would you call this a 3D platformer or just a traditional platformer? But as a dragon we can walk, we can glide, we can breathe fire for a little bit, and we can run. Pretty standard stuff. So this is our hub world, and as you can see, the hub world is actually a world in and of itself. We have collectibles in the form of dragons, gems, and enemies. And then we have the world gates, which take us to our actual levels. So, a lot of fun to 100%. Let's get it started, shall we? With the first dragon, Rescued Nestor.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the artisan world, then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
Alright, and with that, we get a save point, and we are on our way. So the game works as simple as collect gems, defeat enemies because enemies drop gems for the collection point, and yeah, get to the end of the game. Pretty straightforward. We have chests you can break, gems to collect, which I was gotta say makes sense. Dragons love gems. What are you doing here? And here's the balloonist they were talking about, our world transportation. Now these levels are pretty small, but they like to hide gems. And yes, I am aware there is a method to locate gems, which they originally only had in Spyro 3, but they decided to be nice, we'll say, to introduce it into all of them. And I forgot we don't have that flutter ability yet. I believe we get that in Spyro 2, which means we just gotta make it right and a skill point. Also, I don't think it was in the original, but gives you an extra life. These lambs, don't worry, they don't die. They just go as butterflies, which is our health resource thing. Yeah, it's a pretty basic game, simple and fun like Crash Bandicoot, but what I love is you have the different personalities of the two. Spyro's kind of an obnoxious, I'm gonna run in, and even though I'm a little dragon, I still only walk on 4 feet. I think I could take on a big boss. Rescued Argus.
Cool flash. Do that again.
The artisan's boss is through a portal in the dragon mouth, but you are not yet ready, Spyro. First, you must complete one of the other artisan lands.
Yeah, it's funny, they say you're not ready yet, but technically I don't get stronger. I mean, I guess you technically get better at the game by playing, but I could, in theory, go take on the final boss right now. It's not like I get more health, more damage, or new techniques. Alright, take care of these because we need their gems, and although they don't damage us, they are annoying. Collecting gems, it's kind of a collectathon game, which is kind of appealing to some, maybe not for all, but to some. Alright, can we flame these trees? No, we can't. We can't run into them. Alright, Gem Thief. Come here, give me all your gems, because you clearly are great at your job. Yeah, that giant bag with only apparently 3 red gems. Great at your job. Gotta say, Nasty Nork really knows how to pick them. Alright, let's go talk to this dragon. What do you have for me, my friend? Rescued Delvin.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro. You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
Yep, that right there, we got introduced to Sparks, more of the tutorial, who is our lifeline, our system, whatever. Crash doesn't need one, but if he does, he gets Aku Aku. Where Spyro kind of just always has his buddy to take hits. Now, you might be asking, what does that mean? Well, Spyro can't swim, so we took damage. Now Sparks is blue, which means he can take another hit. Now he's green, which means he's almost gone, and if we take one more, Sparks disappears. We're still here because we can take one more hit. So yeah, you can take a lot of hits in this game. Kind of nice to some, but don't worry, all we gotta do is flame a couple sheep, get some butterflies, and would you look at that, Sparks is back. Now I might be asking, why am I taking care of the sheep if I already have max health? Well, a nice little feature is, and I believe it's introduced in later games, I could be wrong, but as you flame your health basically, sometimes you'll get like rainbow sparkly butterflies. And when that happens, you get a 1-up. So it's actually worth getting all the extra 1-up in HP. Nice little cool feature. This is one of the games where you can get a lot of lives for doing nothing. Now what I love is, there's a secret here. I wonder if you could tell what that secret is. Technically the game does tell you eventually, I believe in World 2. But we're just going to activate it ourselves because why wouldn't we jump on all the glowing rocks? And just like that, we have our first bonus world, which is just for gems. Don't worry, we will complete it, but we gotta complete the hub world of the Artisan World. It's called the Artisan World because this is where every dragon who apparently devotes himself to the arts lives. Oh, and by the way, that was a 1-up. Blink and you'll miss it. I originally called this a maze, but it obviously is not a maze. Alright, another world, but we're not done exploring yet. Sorry, these will probably be a little bit longer. I was holding off to figure out how I wanted to do this playthrough, but I decided let's wing it. Get it? Dragon wings? Let's see what happens. Alright, get a few more gems, and here we are, the last dragon. Rescued Thomas.
Hey, Spyro, press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks? Plummeting into prehistoric glaciers?
Oh, that.
It's funny they tell you that, but you don't take fall damage in this game. Brad, what platformer do you take fall damage in? Well, I was gonna say, actually, are there platformers that you take fall damage in? Let me know. I'd love to actually know. And once, oh, you had a few more this time. Cool, you get a promotion. So yeah, basically this opening world gets you the vibe of how the game works, how to run, how to flame, all that good stuff. It's a nice tutorial. Whereas when you compare it to Crash, they kind of just throw you into the game. Granted, you know, what more do you need than run, jump, and spin? Likewise, run. Oh, technically this is running, but run, walk, jump, fire, and you have your basics. But I guess you're a dragon, so you have to have gliding training. This is a level, we are not going there yet, because we want all the gems. And look at that, we're only missing 2. Now, technically we're missing a value of 2, not 2. which means it could be a green or two reds. And in this case, I believe it is a green. And would you look at that? The Artisan Hub World 100%. Now we can go on to our first world. So I like to try to go in order of intention, which means we gotta start here at the Stone Hill. And normally I would be skipping this part, but guess what? You can do stuff here. Tallies up your treasure, you can fly around, flap your wings, breathe fire. It's a nice little interactive loading screen. And yes, this was in the original game. Alright, you can load now. Any second. You know, I wonder, why don't the dragons, adult dragons, help? They can fly, they are powerful, but they let the little dragon do it. In fact, it's kind of a recurring theme in this game is, what's actually going on? And here we are in the first world. And let's just say I have beef with this world. You might be asking why. Well, the answer is simple. I usually end up missing one or two gems. And as I'm trying to play it legitimately, I tend to run around for an hour trying to always find that last red gem. Now, last time I played this game, yes, I have played this a few times, I actually didn't miss one. It was obvious and I was able to get it. But one recurring thing you may notice as I play this game is sometimes I will miss a gem. Not shocking, but sometimes, and I don't know why this happens, by the way, metal, you can't flame, you have to headbutt, or use explosives, Sparks will not grab a gem. And so sometimes you'll think you'll get a gem, but you won't. So occasionally that will happen and we'll miss something. Next dragon, Lindar.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
Yep, teaching you how to save now. So basically the first world, set of levels, whatever you want to call them, is one giant tutorial explaining how to save your game, how everything works, and it's kind of nice because the entire world rather than a level devoted to it. And that includes the boss fight, which kind of is a tutorial on boss fights. And look at that, we found the exit to the world after we rescue Aster.
After you've freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya!
Yep, Spyro doesn't want to listen to your Mr. Hippo long rants. So yeah, right there, tutorial, how you go back. You gotta go there. Now you might be asking, what is that? Items, it's over here. What is this? Well, this is an indicator you can drop down here because that's a vortex to take you back up. Although I think it'd be cool if you could fly back up. Spyro's a young dragon. And we have a key which, you might be asking, where does it go? Well, you'll see in a second. But as you can see, cannot flame metal. Kind of makes sense, wish you could melt it. It'd be cool if you just sat here and flamed it for an hour if it would eventually melt. But that's not the case. Probably made of tungsten or something. Alright, now we go back up because we have much more world to explore. Do a little flying and let's see. Let's go down the well. I wonder what's in the wishing well. What's down here are more gems. And would you look at that? Giant metal case we cannot ram, but there is a lock, which means the key. And we get bonus gems. And there's a dragon down here. Why wouldn't there be? Rescued Gavin.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power. When he eats butterflies, he stays strong. Like me.
Sure.
See, another tutorial, and I already explained that, but the game thought, hey, make progress? We'll teach you how to play the game. To make more progress. To play the game. To make more progress. Yeah. Kind of stuck in an infinite loop. I've gotten better about that. And here we are in the nice wide open area where I always lose a gem or two. Let's hope that doesn't happen this time, but if it does, don't worry, I would say I'd cut, but I might just use the cheap method of finding the location. Okay, I don't know why shepherds would attack a dragon, I guess they are protecting their sheep, so, good on them. But, yeah, I can breathe fire, I have horns. What are you gonna do? And in case you're wondering, yes, you can actually take damage from them. I make it seem like you can't, but you can. In fact, this game's pretty lousy with hit detection. Sometimes, even though you'll hit and defeat the enemy first, you'll still take a hit. Annoying, but what can you do? What can we do? We'll take this whirlwind, that's what we'll do. And another dragon. Rescue Godus.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
All dragons found, more tutorials, but again, who wouldn't glide at the peak of the jump? But that looks like this. Then you press that button and you fall. Now we're at the outer limits of this world. Despite the fact that we can see oceans and islands, this is a small contained world. And I think technically being up here is how you're supposed to find out there's a beach down there. But I'm a gaming veteran when it comes to Spyro, so I know this stuff. Alright, let's get a few gems here on this structure. Alright, do a little... I would call that parkouring, but that's just walking around. Collect these gems. And there's that hidden one. So, you might be saying like, okay, let's go on to that vast wilderness. I mean, it's all there, and yeah. I guess they were smart enough to put up force fields. My question is, and always has been, does it only work on Spyro? Does it only work on dragons? Or does it work on everything? Because that's kind of limiting. Especially when you see what looks like a castle over there. Oh well. But as you can see, there's a nice wide open area up here, and yeah, this is where I tend to lose a gem or two. Sometimes it'll be right beyond the hill, sometimes it's right in the open, and Sparks just doesn't grab them. Oh, what fun this game is. Let's see, we are missing 4, I believe. Let me check. Yes, we are missing 4. This game does have a nice little checkbook, which I don't believe the original game did. I think it did in later games, but not the original. Alright, we saw it just over here. Please be a green. Aha! See, I've gone better. Now I don't miss them. But you might be saying this level isn't 100%. That's right, because there's a dragon egg that little thief has. I prefer the original laugh, but what can you do? Now we chase them, and they run fast. We have to run, try to cut them off, use racing tactics, take the inside line, not the outside. And if you get close enough, flame them, you get the egg, and that is a level complete. And while I jump down here, we'll just run through, go take the exit, and back to the artisan world. And I like how the dragons are now portrayed in the remake with different artisanal purposes. You have cooking, painting, music. It's really cool detail. In the original game, they were all kind of just recolors of the same dragon. But hey, limitations versus modern day technology doesn't take away from it. In fact, I personally believe, that was quick. Oh, real quick, if you destroy an enemy that you've already gotten the gem from, you get these little balls, orbs, whatever you want to call them. Collect enough of them, you get a 1-up. So there's incentive for redefeating enemies. A lot of cool little features in this game for being as old as it is. But as I was saying, Spyro is one of these games that I believe the original version is actually better than the remake. I can't say that about Crash. I believe Crash is actually really good for the remake. And if you've never played Crash, you should probably play the remake. Eventually try out the original. But with Spyro, I don't know. I feel like the vibe of Spyro just works better on a PlayStation 1 than the remake. That's probably just me. And in case you're wondering, on my rankings, I believe Spyro 1 is the best Spyro game. And then it goes 3, then 2. Nothing wrong with 2. In fact, I think 2 is a fan favorite. Kind of like how Crash Bandicoot 2 is considered the best one and favorite. But personally, I think it goes 1, 3, then 2. I don't know, something's off about 2, despite introducing a lot of characters and, points to the game that will stay, kind of like how Crash Bandicoot 2 did that. I don't know, I just think the first one's always better. And I probably will for a long time. But with that being said, we've completed the artisanal world and the first world. Next time, we take on the maze world. The non-maze world. Come here. Boom! Got you. Well, that was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed playing. And if you did, please consider hitting the like button and impacting the subscribe button. It'll help out in the long run. With all that being said, this has been The Mechanist, logging off. Until next time.